Here's the culprit count for this book and the entire series.
Argo Font Book Review, Argo Font Book Review.
Case 1. All of the guests arrive with suitcases full of valuables. That night, a bunch of them rob each other, because deep down, they're all horrible people. Someone swaps with Mr. Green, Mrs. White swaps with Miss Scarlet, Plum swaps with Green, White and Plum swap. Now White has Mrs. Peacock's suitcase. Who stole Mr. Green's suitcase? You're supposed to start from the end and work backwards through all 4 swaps, but that's way too much work. The easy solution is to recognize that Mrs. Peacock must be the anonymous thief, because otherwise her suitcase wouldn't have been mixed up with all the others. Case 2. Colonel Mustard is stabbed in a newspaper accident. All of the guests have clean knives and clothes. Mr. Body says the killer wiped the blood off on their clothes. Who did it? Miss Scarlet. She has scarlet-colored clothes, the blood blended in with it. Case 3. On Mrs. White's day off, everyone gets into a fight about their clothes. Here are the clues. Plum had the knife. Plum is the only one who wore his own color. The women attacked each other. The gun attacked a scarlet dress. The knife attacked a mustard shirt. The wrench attacked green pants. The candlestick attacked a peacock gown. The pipe attacked plum slacks. You need to figure out who wore what, then who attacked whom. Even though Mrs. White isn't a suspect, this is still the toughest puzzle of the book. Case 4. Everyone plays charades, and Mrs. Peacock is killed. This is a 2-part puzzle. First, you read carefully to determine who's on which team. One team is Plum, Green, and Scarlet. So the second part of the puzzle is figuring out who the murderer is. The murderer is not Plum or female, therefore it's Green. Case 5. Mrs. White openly hates everyone. They decide to cheer her up by making awful food, like Green's greens and Plum's plums. One of the dishes is poisoned. It's either plums or mustard, it's either mustard or scarlet chicken, and it's one of the 5 foods. Wow, that last clue is absolutely no help at all. Well, mustard's mustard is the only food that's mentioned in every list, so it's the bad food. Case 6. Everyone plays Go Fish, and they all accuse each other of cheating. The culprit attacks when Green and White are together. The solution is to reread carefully and realize Miss Scarlet was the only one accused by those characters who wasn't in the room at the time of the shooting. I'd say this was the weakest mystery of the book. Case 7. Mr. Body has the largest diamond in the world. All the guests plan to steal it. But first, let's get rid of half the characters with the process of elimination. Plum, Scarlet, and Green aren't culprits, because Plum is sleeping in the kitchen, and the other 2 have the wrong weapons. A male thief has the wrench, a thief who's not Mrs. White has the rope, the final thief has the lead pipe. Who are the thieves? Well, Mustard's the only male not accounted for, so he's the male thief. The other 2 must be White and Peacock. Obviously, the one who's not White is Peacock. Case 8. In the title case, a thief called the Invisible Cat is on the loose. She's sure to strike because Mr. Body is not the poorest man in town. Everyone is knocked out and tied up in the basement. The culprit is the one person who is not tied up. Plum hears someone talk. He thinks it's either Mustard or himself. I think it's kind of hilarious that Plum is too stupid to realize he can't be talking when he's not talking. Green or Mustard responds, Scarlet or Peacock asks a question, and Scarlet or Peacock answers. White or Peacock has matches. Who's the culprit? Mrs. White. Case 9. Professor Plum makes a machine which does ridiculous things. It also makes 5 clones of Mrs. Peacock. The clones try to murder everyone. The clones always lie, so what question can they ask to find the real Mrs. Peacock? I've seen this logic puzzle before a few times. Normally, the correct solution is to ask one person about the other person's answer. That stops the liar from copying the truthful person's answer. This book is sneaky and gives the cheater solution, which is ask a simple question like, what is 2 plus 2? Whoever says 4 is the truth teller. Case 10. All of the guests laugh over how much they hate Mr. Body. He's a complete idiot, and they love robbing him. Mr. Body is listening in on the conversation, and he gets furious. They decide to kill him before he can call the police. Everyone gets a gun with different colored bullets. Peacock gets red, White gets blue, Scarlet gets white, Green gets purple, Plum gets yellow, and Mustard gets green. Confused yet? Because they trade 5 times. Plum swaps with White, Scarlet swaps with White, Green swaps with Scarlet, Peacock swaps with Scarlet, and Plum swaps with Peacock. Whew! Body is killed with red and blue bullets. Who did it? The culprits are Miss Scarlet and Mrs. Peacock. Unlike the first puzzle, you really do have to keep track of the trades, because Scarlet traded 3 times while Peacock traded twice. So that's it for the book. I like the book. It was funny and the puzzles are good. There are fewer puzzles where the solution is reread carefully, and more puzzles where you have to work things out on your own. I particularly like the clever yet simple puzzle solutions of 2 plus 2 equals 4 and blood is scarlet colored. Like the other books in the series, this gets a thumbs up from me.